Prosecutors say the plot was revenge for the murder of another Chicago rapper in 2020. The shooting that happened outside a popular LA shopping mall missed the alleged target, but killed his cousin. If he is convicted, Durk could spend the rest of his life in prison.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could tell, I could see right through him, like,
he wasn't that type of person.
Yeah, I'm like, so, you know, I ain't really got a problem with the kid. But it's like, I don't wish jail on nobody. Like, not even my worst enemy, so. Hope he get out, you know what I'm saying, and be safe in there.
Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night and is being held without bond.
To make our community safer and rid our streets of these criminal street gangs, including ones operated by violent felons like Mr. Henley, who are posing as savvy businessmen and community leaders, but in the end are criminal.
Bricc Baby just got jumped behind bars, and the timing couldn't be worse. Right after one of the biggest RICO busts the LA scene has seen in a long time, he's now being straight up called a snitch. And it's not just the feds throwing that word around. His own people, the streets, the blogs, and even folks he once called family are all turning their backs. Word on the street is Bricc ratted on Lil Durk, and now Durk's locked up too. This whole situation's spiraling fast. So how's it all gonna unfold? We got every wild detail right here. On March 19th, 2025, the feds dropped a bombshell, Operation Drawdown, a massive sweep targeting the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips in LA. 10 alleged members got caught up, and one name had the whole culture in shock: Bricc Baby.
Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal and conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
And this wasn't some light arrest either. The charges? Serious. We're talking firearm possession, drug trafficking, and straight up RICO. If you've been following the whole Young Thug saga, then you already know when the feds play that RICO card, they're not coming to play. What started as quiet talk turned into a full-blown circus. Bricc allegedly gave up Durk's name while talking to the feds, and not in a good way. Now Durk is sitting in a cell too, facing heavy federal heat linked to the killing of Lil Pab, who was Quando Rondo's cousin. It's wild out here. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any crazier, boom, news breaks that Bricc got jumped in jail. Yeah, right after the arrest. Insiders say someone ran up on him inside, and it wasn't a friendly welcome. Some are saying this beatdown was personal. Others say it was all politics. But one thing's clear, according to whispers floating around the system. It wasn't just random dudes who jumped Bricc Baby. Word is his own crew allegedly turned on him.
Oh man, you already know, they on there. It's a whole bunch of rumors flying around. They said you got hit up in there, all type of shit.
Man, I'm that guy, dude. Like, not like that though, bro, but you know what I mean? Unfortunately, this is where I grew up at, gang. So this like second nature to a nigga, but it's all gravy, we right.
Yep. People are saying it was members of the Rollin 60s who weren't vibing with the snitch rumors swirling around his name. And let's be real, this didn't just come out of thin air. Even the No Jumper LA page dropped some cryptic clues right after Bricc got booked. That's when folks started putting two and two together. His old interviews, his court ties, and that messy connection to Lil Durk. It all started adding up real quick. Now it's 4 a.m. and Bricc is sitting behind bars, allegedly spilling secrets. Durk's locked up too, probably feeling backstabbed. And the whole internet? Watching every second of this drama unfold like it's a live-action soap opera. At this point, Brick's street cred, basically buried. He's getting labeled a problem by everybody, inside and outside.
9 times out of 10, that means that they hit Bricc like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, they got the 11 here. Because he was here last night, that's the only place to get him. You know what I'm saying? He was probably at the crib sleep, because that's how they get you 4 in the morning.
And we ain't even cracked open the wildest part yet. Why everyone's throwing that snitch label at him in the first place. This ain't just street gossip. It all started catching fire after Bricc allegedly leaked Quando Rondo's location to the feds. That tip supposedly led to the hit that took out Lil Pab, Condo's right-hand man. Now here's where things go from bad to insane.
Targeted rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed in 2022. Investigators believe it was retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von.
According to court records, The feds are saying Lil Durk and his team were behind that hit. And Bricc, he didn't just drop names. He allegedly told the whole story. He supposedly told prosecutors that the Lil Pop hit was straight revenge for King Von's death back in 2020. That's wild because for years fans kept chanting one thing: slide for Von. And now, it looks like someone actually did. Nobody actually thought it went down until Whack 100 jumped in and stirred up the whole scene. He pulled up on Vlad TV and dropped a bomb. That gun charge Bricc Baby caught? According to Whack, it was never really about the gun at all. He claimed the whole arrest was just a setup to get Brick's phone. And why?
We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone. In the process of him doing the search, they come across the AK-47.
Because that phone allegedly had the real heat, info connecting Lil Durk to the Quando Rondo situation. Yeah, now things are really sounding shady. But here's what really got people looking sideways. That gun case, it vanished. No court fight, no trial, just gone. Dismissed way too fast. And if you know how this works, then you know. Felons don't just walk on gun charges unless they're giving something major to the feds. And in this case, folks started whispering that the major was Lil Durk. Now let's talk about Brick's mouthpiece, because that might have been the real problem all along. He hit a public interview and dropped one of the most reckless lines ever. I guess you can't say OTF didn't slide for Von. That right there? That wasn't just a throwaway comment. It sounded like a confirmation. Like he was basically saying, yeah, OTF made a move. And the internet lost it. Fans were instantly calling him Snitch Baby all over social media. They clowned him for dry snitching like he was spitting bars in a diss track. But this ain't no mixtape. This is real life charges.
Ain't nobody. Yeah. They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, cause of no. Like
They
who died?
say you can't say that no more.
Oh, cause of FVG Cash? Or who?
Then came the paperwork. Court docs revealed there was a co-conspirator 4 who supposedly dropped Quando Rondo's location. And guess what? The streets didn't even hesitate. Everybody pointed to the same person, Bricc Baby. Of course, Bricc denied it. He tried to distance himself from the whole thing, saying his connection to Quando was personal, nothing gang-related. But by then, the damage was done. The streets already had their minds made up. Bricc Baby swore he had nothing to do with any of it, said folks were twisting the whole story. But let's be honest, the timing was way too perfect. The quote was way too detailed, and it looked like the feds had already been cooking something up way before the RICO even dropped. So whether Bricc meant to snitch or not, he definitely ended up in the mix. And now, it's not just social media clowning him. It's the streets, his old gang ties, and even the prison block turning on him. That snitch label ain't just floating around, it's stuck. Things hit a new level when the feds finally made their move on Lil Durk. U.S. Marshals snatched him up in Florida, fast and quiet, and shipped him straight to Broward County Correctional. No warning, no bond, no time to get his affairs in order. Just boom, locked up. And this ain't some routine rap sheet either. Durk is now facing federal charges tied to that 2022 ambush that left Lil Pab dead. And who's the name floating at the center of all the drama? That's right, Bricc Baby, the guy who's been talking nonstop.
I mean, nah. You know what I mean? Like, I know it looks, I wouldn't be right here doing all this first and foremost if I was co-conspirator number 4.
According to the indictment, the feds believe OTF didn't just talk tough in tracks. They claim OTF put an actual bounty on Quando Rondo's head. But the hit went sideways and ended with Quando's cousin, Lil Pop, getting killed instead. That's when prosecutors dropped the hammer. They started building the case that OTF, Only the Family, isn't just a music label. They're calling it a hybrid criminal operation. Basically saying it's part rap crew, part street gang. And just when things couldn't get any messier, Durk's own nonprofit Neighborhood Heroes got shut down by city officials. They even snatched back his key to the city, from being praised as a rapper with a cause to being painted as a full-blown gang leader in less than a year. And now folks are wondering if the feds are going to start using Durk's own lyrics in interviews against him, just like they did in the Young Thug YSL case. The indictment, it's thick, and with the heat locked squarely on OTF, people are saying Bricc Baby's alleged snitching might have been the final puzzle piece the feds needed to make it all stick. And now, let's talk about how Lil Durk's reacting to this whole mess, because trust, he is not taking it lightly. Sources close to Durk say he's been real quiet, but his silence, screaming. Insiders say he's feeling betrayed, deeply. Not just by Bricc, but by some folks in his own circle who might have let this all play out under his nose.
When you go through the paperwork, it says that the location where Quando Rondo and his crew were staying in LA was provided by co-conspirator 4.
The word is, Durk's been sending out messages through his tightest crew, making it crystal clear Bricc broke the code. And in the streets, that's the one rule you don't break, ever. Once you tell, it's done. No rewinds, no justifications. Loyalty gets cut off instantly, and that's exactly what's happening. Durk's been ghosting anybody even remotely connected to Bricc. Doesn't matter if it's business, old ties, or mutual friends. If your name's tied to Bricc, you're out. Bricc Baby's name is blacklisted now. Nobody's messing with him, not in music, not in the streets. Even the OGs are weighing in on this. From Chicago to LA to Atlanta, folks are saying Durk became a casualty of his own loyalty. He trusted the wrong ones, and now his entire movement's paying the price. What stings even more? Durk actually held it down for a lot of people, including Bricc. He showed love, gave support, put people on, and this is how it got returned? According to people close to him, Durk said Bricc knew better, but he just didn't care. This wasn't just disloyalty. It was betrayal from someone who used to call him brother. And when you start digging through the paperwork, it all starts looking way too personal. And just when it felt like things couldn't get worse, boom, enter OTF Jam. While the spotlight was all over Bricc Baby, the feds had been playing a whole other card in the background. And this one cut deep. Because OTF Jam wasn't just another affiliate, he was considered family. He got out of prison in 2022 after doing 12 years for an attempted hit. And what did Lil Durk do? He welcomed him back with nothing but love. Hooked him up with gifts, cars, cash, the whole nine. Durk even shouted him out in interviews, giving props for holding it down through those hard years. But behind closed doors,
I named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone
a
in a jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
Jam was allegedly playing a whole different game. Reports say he was quietly working with the feds for years. Word is, he had a wire on him and was recording private convos that eventually helped connect Durk to the Lil Pab hit, just like Bricc Baby supposedly did. Whack 100 didn't hold back either. He said Bricc might have cracked the door open, but it was OTF Jam who let the feds walk right in. And then came the footage. Jam sitting in what looked like an interrogation room, eating McDonald's, and the internet went wild. Fans were cracking jokes saying he folded for a Big Mac. Others laughed about his big forehead, saying that's where he hid the wire. But some were more real about it, pointing out how the feds don't even need big wires these days. They got tiny recorders, even turned phones into mics. The betrayal just hits harder when it's high-tech and close to home. But jokes aside, this situation was serious, dead serious. This wasn't just snitching from the sidelines. This was someone Durk trusted. Someone who got embraced after doing time and still flipped. Once that wire evidence came into play, it was game over. The feds had years of recorded convos to use in court. First Bricc Baby, now OTF Jam. And the worst part, nobody saw it coming, not even Durk. The internet didn't waste a second. The moment Bricc Baby's arrest hit the timeline, along with the snitching rumors, social media exploded. Twitter turned into a war zone of memes, side-by-sides, and call-outs. One of the most viral posts? A split image. On one side, Bricc chilling in a podcast chair saying, OTF slid for Vaughn. And on the other, Lil Durk's mugshot with the caption, and this is why you keep your mouth shut. Savage. Reddit threads went wild. Fans were dissecting court documents, podcast clips, and paperwork trying to figure out who co-conspirator 4 was. And most folks agreed. All signs pointed to Bricc Baby. The timing matched, the quote matched, and the vibe, it all just lined up. Even people inside the industry started picking sides. Some underground rappers straight up cut ties, wiping Bricc off their socials. Others said they always knew he talked too much, that it was only a matter of time. One fan joked, Bricc Baby got himself canceled before the feds did, just by talking too much online. But it wasn't all jokes. A lot of people were dead serious, saying this whole situation proves one thing. The streets do not play about loyalty. Once you break that code, it's a wrap.
TF Jam did 12 years for attempted back, I guess around 2010. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
Then came the bigger conversation. OTF as a whole started getting looked at sideways. With 2 people now allegedly cooperating, Bricc and OTF Jam, fans started asking the real questions. Is the entire crew falling apart from the inside? The narrative shifted fast. It wasn't just about Bricc Baby being reckless or Jam being shady. Now the spotlight was on the entire OTF structure. People started wondering, how deep does this really go? And that's when things got real. Because the feds, they're clearly not just looking at individuals anymore. They're going after the whole network. The feds aren't just coming for one person. They're targeting the entire OTF structure, trying to label it as a full-blown criminal enterprise, just like they're doing with YSL out in Atlanta. And let's be real, they're not playing fair. They're pulling everything. Interviews, old Instagram lives, music videos, Reddit theories, and lyrics. If it even sounds like a threat, a confession, or a connection, they're logging it. This ain't just a case, it's a statement. The feds are sending a loud message. Your fame won't shield you. If you're a rapper moving like a street boss, they're gonna treat you like one. No passes just because you're in the spotlight. Now OTF is under the microscope, and the pressure's building. Prosecutors claim they've already locked in credit card receipts, financial records, and even private convos tying multiple crew members to a murder-for-hire plot. And the wildest part, it all traces back to one night, the night King Von was killed. That single moment sparked a chain reaction. Revenge moves, ambushes, more bodies, and now a mountain of legal drama. The streets stayed quiet, but the feds, they were watching everything unfold. With so many puzzle pieces lining up, people are saying Bricc Baby's betrayal might have been the final push the feds needed to bring the whole RICO theory full circle. That snitch talk, it ain't just gossip anymore. It might have sealed the deal. What started off as whispers on the internet has now turned into a full-blown federal takedown. And the fallout? It's hitting everyone, artists, crews, and the streets alike. The damage is done, and it's deep. Bricc Baby's behind bars, bruised, boxed in, and surrounded by nothing but bad press. His name used to carry weight in the streets, but now, it's ringing for all the wrong reasons. From rolling 60s to OTF, he's been iced out, cut loose, and labeled everything except solid. And while he's sitting in a cell, Lil Durk is locked up too. No bail, no freedom, and now carrying the weight of betrayal from 2 people who used to be right by his side. OTF Jam wore a wire. Bricc Baby ran his mouth. Now the whole OTF movement is on shaky ground. The streets never forget. And once you break that street code, ain't no coming back from that. No do-overs, no replays. You're done. But what do you think? Did Bricc really fold under pressure? Was Jam always playing both sides? Or is there still more going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? Let's get into it. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what side of this you're on. And don't forget, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn your notifications all the way on so you never miss the next drop. We've got more stories, more updates, and more drama coming your way. See you on the next one.